Good evening. This is Miss Poopee Doodee, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News. Today's news shall be a public service announcement about public access television. See, the other day, I, Miss Poopee Doodee, and the Zigzag Wanderer, we were just walking down the streets of Queens, looking at apartment buildings and looking at houses, and what we noticed is, not what we noticed. You may have heard me say noticed, but that was really a mistake on your television. Anyway, so what you may have noticed was that, there was a large amount of dish, little TV things set up, and satellite TV, things set up, and there was a whole bunch of dish stuff, dish TV network, their contraptions set up in like many, many apartment buildings and many, many houses. So you know what that means, if people are subscribing to satellite TV or dish network, they're not going to get the public access channels because the only cable providers that carry it are Time Warner and RCN. So though I'm not really an advocate of cable, I'm saying if you're going to get it and you're interested in finding out about public access channels, I would say get the provider that actually displays the public access channels. You know what I mean? So, it was truly very disappointing, to see these rows and rows of apartment buildings with just dish, 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 dish. All over the houses was dish, 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 dish. It was truly depressing, It's just depressing. But, maybe those providers, those cable providers are okay for you if you don't care about public access channels, because many people don't. I mean, why should they? They don't think it's important that users have the right to produce their own material and have the right to air it on a channel. People prefer it, actually, that users don't have the right to local television channels. They prefer it if somebody else, something more mainstream is showing on that channel. They don't want little users to get in on these television waves. So that was a tragedy. It's really a tragedy. But as with any public access show, actually, there was always a handful of, well, I hope it's only a handful of maybe, like serial killers that might be watching the show. I mean, not that I'm advocating that kind of thing, but there's always the possibility. So my public service announcement, in addition to saving public access television, is also to perhaps encourage those serial killers to stop killing humans. Don't kill humans. Instead, why don't you take a walk, and when you see like a dish set up in someone's apartment, why don't you just break that or shoot it? So this way we can get rid of like 20, 30 dishes a day. And people would get kind of impatient with getting their dish replaced, and they'll eventually switch over to perhaps Time Warner or RCN where they could see the public access channels. I mean, it's just a thought, it's just a thought. But, yeah. I mean, there's nothing like just breaking a dish, It's just quite, So there. Today's public service announcement was certainly about saving public access television, and it was about encouraging serial killers not to kill humans anymore, but to just destroy dish and satellite contraptions in various people's apartment buildings. I mean, that might be better, actually. So there, now you know. And what else was I going to say that, well, that was it. That was it. That was the bit of news that I, Miss Poopee Doodee, had to report. I know, it's quite interesting, though, that I and the Zigzag Wanderer were walking together, because not many people have really seen Miss Poopee Doodee and the Zigzag Wanderer at the same time. But sometimes it happens, we hang out a lot. So we were walking. So she was wandering, and I was reporting. Alright, so once again, this is Miss Poopee Doodee, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News, telling all of you that if you're going to get cable, do not get the cable provider that does not provide you with public access television channels. And of course, if you don't care about the fact that users have the right to submit content to local television waves and airwaves, then to hell with you. Alright, so good night, folks. And, well, not good night, but I'm signing off now, and tune in for the next bit of news.